Welcome back to GDT Tech Reviews. In this video we are going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best graphics card 2022. So let us get started and the review based on our studies and small research. If you have any personal suggestion, do let us know in the comment section. If you are for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon for more videos. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. So let's get started. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060 is based on the same Ampere architecture as the RTX 3080, and gives us a look at what the Ampere lineup will look like in the mid-range and budget segment of the GPU market. This isn't exactly going to be the graphics card that'll push Watch Dogs Legion with ray tracing at 4K, but it is definitely up to doing it at 1080p. With this graphics card, you're getting 8GB of the same GDDR6 memory found in the RTX 3070, paired with 38A streaming multiprocessors, SM. However, because of changes Nvidia has made to its SM since Turing, each of these now has 128 CUDA cores, double that of the 64 in each Turing SM. That means there are now 4,864 CUDA cores in the RTX 3060 Ti, up from the 2,176 found in the RTX 2060 Super. Power consumption sees an increase over the RTX 2060 Super, but it's not as pronounced as other cards in the Nvidia Ampere lineup. The total graphics power, TGP, is 200 watts for the RTX 3060 Ti, up from the 175 watts of the RTX 2060 Super. The Strix line of graphics cards from Asus is the company's flagship. This GeForce RTX 3080 from Asus comes with a factory set boost to push the card even further without you needing to touch a single setting. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3080 Founders Edition performed seriously well, and we're expecting just as much from Asus. The Asus ROG Strix RTX 3080 is a stunning GPU. Compared to the previous generation, the company has toned down the aggressive gamer styling a little, resulting in less RGB lighting, though you will still be able to see the card through tempered glass. It's the usual ROG Strix affair though, with premium materials, a full backplate, and 3 large fans. There are 3 8-pin C connections for supplying enough current to the GPU. That's a lot of power, and many PSUs may not have enough connectors available, especially at the lower end of the capacity scale. This is why Asus recommends an 850 watts PSU as a minimum, and we'd agree since this puppy can draw up to 320 watts alone. Keeping everything cool, Asus took a few cues from Nvidia's reference design with the pass-through of air. You'll see the same feature here with this card. The right fan will actually blow air all the way through and out the top, helping to reduce blowback. The heatsink is huge with full copper heat pipes. Compared to the base Nvidia RTX 3080, which we reviewed favorably for its performance, the RTX 3080 from Asus is able to boost far higher at 1935 MHz instead of 1710 MHz. This results in overall better performance, allowed by those 3 large fans on the 2.9 slot GPU. You also get all the usual specs with the Nvidia RTX 3080, including 8,704 CUDA cores, 68 ray tracing cores, and 272 tensor cores. This is a 4K capable GPU for gaming, and there are plenty of ports to choose from. Zotac today launched its GeForce RTX 3090 Trinity Ampere graphics card. The card combines Nvidia's top-dog RTX 3090 GPU with 24GB of GDDR6X memory, the latest Ice Storm 2.0 cooling solution, and Spectra 2A RGB illumination. Zotac also offers an industry-leading 5-year warranty subject to product registration. Unlike Nvidia's RTX 3090 Founders Edition with its dual-axial flow-through cooler, Zotac takes a more conventional approach with its Ice Storm 2.0 thermal solution. All 3 fans are where you'd expect them. The cooler is longer than the PCB, so some of the airflow from the 3rd fan flows through, out the backplate. With the RTX 3080 already capable of 4K UHD gaming with ray tracing, the RTX 3090 has an interesting market position at its $1,499 starting price, which is about 50% higher than the launch price of the RTX 2080 Ti, but exactly 50% lower than the Titan RTX. The RTX 3070 Tough's design is nearly identical to that of the Asus RTX 3080 Tough, with a few minor adjustments. The 3070 has the same dimensions as the more potent 3080 and 3090 cards, but it weighs around 300 grams less. That's because the GPU and GDDR6 memory won't run as hot, so the heatsink isn't quite as bulky. The overall appearance is nearly the same as the higher-end Asus Tough models as well, though there are a few small differences in the backplate. There are a few extra cutouts on the 3070. While the reference 3070 has an official TGP, total graphics power, of 220 watts, Asus doesn't explicitly list a TGP and instead recommends at least a 750 watts power supply. The 3070 Tough still requires dual 8-pin power connectors, just like the 3080 and 3090 variants, which is a bit interesting to see. Based on our power testing, it will be challenging to push the card beyond 300 watts, and an 8-pin plus 6-pin setup would have been sufficient. The Sapphire RX 5600 XT Pulse OC is what we have on our test bench for this review. The factory-tweaked SKU is a dual-slot, 2.3 slots according to Sapphire, solution measuring in at 10 by 5.3 by 1.8 inches, 254 by 135 by 46.5 mm, a full-size card. Sapphire's Dual-X cooler and shroud adds an inch or so to the PCB. This specific model isn't intended for SFF PCs and should be able to fit in most mid-tower chassis. As always, be sure to verify your case's specifications before buying. The RX 5600 XT Pulse's cooling solution sports two large 90mm fans moving air through the heatsink, along with a simple backplate to protect the backside of the PCB. The backplate is more for aesthetics, protection and rigidity. But it does have a couple of thermal pads placed in strategic locations, behind the VRM to name one, to help with passive cooling. The backplate matches the red/black/gray theme for the Pulse, with a large gray band and red highlights running through it. The fans use dual ball bearings intended for quiet operation and long life. The card also features a zero fan feature, with the fans switching off under low loads and temperatures, giving users complete silence on the desktop. On top of the card, the Sapphire name is lit up in RGB LEDs, the only place where we find lighting on this card. Sapphire's Dual-X heatsink makes contact with the die through a copper plate which then sends the heat through the heat pipes and into the fin array.